Hello all, welcome to AWS Babies. So in this video lecture, I'm going to take you through the in-depth details of identity and access management. In last class, we discussed about the different ways of accessing the AWS services. So first, I talked about graphical user interface. So for this to happen, you should have a user credentials for that. So through user credentials, a user has to manually update whatever things he want in the services. The second way that I talked about is the application programming interface. So it can be done through JSON scripting, or another method is like we have many softwares outside of AWS console which will access AWS services. So either way, whether it is through JSON scripting or it is through outside softwares that access to the AWS console, we need account keys to be set up for that. So account keys, first we will register with that particular software which is going to interact with the AWS console. So how a user credentials are generated, how account keys are set up, whether it's for the root account or it's for the user account, all those things we are going to discuss in this IAM series. So let me just introduce certain keywords. So first is roles. So the roles we need to set up for the different AWS services to communicate with each other. Say for example, if EC2, which is a service that is used for creating web servers, remote web servers, if they need to talk to S3, say for example, there is an object in S3, so through EC2 server, if you want to access a particular object in S3, then role is needed for that. So how to set up role, we will see in this series. Second is the account keys. So I have already talked about that here. So whenever an outside software or anything needs to communicate with AWS console, any service, then it needs account keys. Now I am in the AWS console. So right side this particular drop down menu. So this tells you which region you are using for your particular account. So the advisable thing is you have to select a particular region which is closest to your physical location. So for me it is Mumbai. So I'm selecting that particular one. So it is not mandatory that all services will be available in all the regions. So if in Mumbai I'm not finding a particular service, then I can go to any other region and then check for the particular service and use it. So this is what region setup is. But if you talk about IAM alone, so I am in the IAM screen now. So IAM, you can find it in security, identity and compliance group, inside which you can see the IAM. On clicking that particular service, it will take you to this window, inside which you can see the region is global. That is because IAM, all the users, your account setup, everything is in a global manner. So it doesn't matter your employee is in which region, to whomever you are creating it, it will be in a global region. So, okay. So this is the agenda for this meeting. So these are the things that we are going to talk about in this particular lecture series. So maybe I might be using one or two videos for it. So I'm starting off with the first one, password policy. Now, when I click the IAM service, it will take us to this window. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you is the DNS link. So the DNS link is like in AWS service, if I give my um, administrator credentials, that is root credentials, it will take us to this particular console region inside which you have got access, which mean that you have access to each and every services inside this, and you have modify access as well. So generally, as I said in previous lecture, it is advisable to give user accounts to all your employees so that they don't have all the access that they want. They want only the required access. So how if you have created a particular user credentials with, say for example, access only to EC2, that is for creating the remote server, then he won't be having access to S3. So those things we will come to that soon. In a practical version we will see it. But here what I wanted to tell is the general link that we used to give is aws.amazon.com. When we give it the root credentials, that we are going to give it here, and that will take you through the AWS console. Now, then how will the users log in? So for them, for this particular root account, this is the DNS link through which you can copy. I'm taking a new browser for opening this DNS link. I'm taking Firefox, then I'm giving that DNS link. What we can see is this is the account ID. So this is the root account, and whatever user account that we have created and given to the user, they can give that particular credentials and log in inside the server. And inside that, he will be having access only through the to the EC2 service that we have provided, so that he can use through this. And This particular account ID, this is not simply generated, AWS has generated by itself. So that is what we are seeing here. So if you carefully see that, that will be the account ID of the root access. Say for example, for me, if I go to my account, I can see that is the account ID for my root account. Also, if you feel that it's difficult for you to provide this DNS link to all your users, because you don't want to let out your root account number to anyone, or you feel that then giving the numbers and all is very difficult for a DNS link, what you can do, you can always customize this. In place of number, whatever you want to replace, whatever word you want to replace for this number, you can give it here. See that number got replaced with this AWS link. Now you can provide this to the user, and through this, all your users can always log in. One more thing is that, say you are having for this root account, you are having two user accounts under this. So whatever billing happens for those two user accounts will come, that billing will come to this root account for this ID. Next, what we are going to see is 5 different types of services that IAM provides, in which I am going to first cover the apply an IAM policy, password policy. So on clicking that, what it is telling is use a password policy to require your IAM users to create strong passwords and to rotate their passwords regularly. So generally, if it is a Gmail password or Facebook or whatever things that we are going to access, they might provide some policy password for the users. So it is like the password that you are going to generate, it should have at least one uppercase character, one lowercase character, one number, at least it should have one non-alphanumeric numeric character it should have, and allow users to change their own password. That option also we have in Facebook or Gmail or whatever it has. So what it is for the root account and for the users account, what we can do, we can set the different password policies. So for example, I am selecting this one, this particular one, and enable password expression. Now, what that means is whatever user account that I am going to create, for that account password should have at least one number. Then I am advising that particular user, I am allowing that particular user to change his own password, his or her own password. Then what I'm going to do, enable password expiration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give 60 days for it, which means that once in 2 months, that password will get expired and the user has to change his password, mandatory. Then what I have checkmarked is password expiration requires a administrator reset. So I'm going to give all these options and then I'm applying password policy. So what happens is these particular things, whatever I have given, with that a policy will be created, and both for root account and users account, these all will be applicable. So the more options you select, we can tell more secure the account is. Um, so this is one level of setting the security. So the second level of security that you can provide to secure your account is what AWS call it as MFA, which means multi-factor authentication. So if I get into that, if I go to manage MFA, so first of all, getting into that, I will just let you know what multi-factor authentication is. There are two types for that. So one is SMS text message based. So what it does, to your account, you have to set a registered mobile number. So when you try to enter into the account by giving the username and password, um, it will trigger a message to your registered mobile number. So in that text, there will be a number. That number you have to enter it back to your in the AWS login area so that it will log into the account. So one example for that is semantic validation and ID protection. Um, so the second method is security token based method. So you will be provided with a security token. It can be hardware or a software. So if it is a software, it is an app which has to be installed into the mobile phone. What it will do, there will be a series of numbers displayed in that app, and that will be changing every 1 minute or so. So after entering your credentials, you have to enter that particular number which is there in the app into this area. So this software will cross check whether both are same or not. Accordingly, it will log in. So this is the second level of security that AWS provides. So one example for that is RSA token. So here, as I said, MFA. So this is the second method that we are going to see, which is security token based method. So again, inside that, as I told, it can be a hardware token or a software token. So virtual MFA device is the app that I was talking about. So I will try to register to that. You must first install compatible application. So this is what I was talking about. Say a particular app has to be installed inside your mobile phone. So the list of applications are provided here. So if I go down, I can see for each and every mobile phone, different types of operating system, which one I have to use. So for Android, I have to install the Google Authenticator app. So I have already installed this particular app in my mobile phone. So what I can do, I can go ahead to the next step, and there is a QR code displayed. So what I'm going to do, there is an option in the application with a plus sign. So when I click that plus sign, it will display a box. Through that box, we have to scan the QR code, and then a number will be displayed. That number, authentication code 1, I can enter it here. Then again after 1 minute, the number will be refreshed. So the second number, I have to enter it, and then if when I press activate virtual MFA, you can see the message that we got MFA device was successfully associated with your account. I am clicking finish. Now what happens? I'm logging out of this account, and again I will try to log in. So we have logged out from my account. I'm trying to sign in again. So first it is asking for my password. Yeah, so as expected, it is asking for the MFA code. So in the mobile app, this is the number that is showed. Clicking submit. So in the background, it will check for the corresponding code in my mobile. It will cross check whether the entered number and the number that is there in the app is same or not. Accordingly, it will log in or it will deny to log in. So this is the second level of authentication that AWS provides. With this, we will wind up for this video. So the remaining part of IAM, we will see it in the next video. Thank you.